like realistically, like all I have to do to tell a story with you is hurt your arm and have you sell the arm, and then what we do based off that is the
It's easy
story.
as that. Yeah.
But they don't. They never grasp that concept, so then they resort to urine tests in the middle of the match, and
this is a product
smelling
of
the pee and drinking the pee.
Or either you do it or you don't. Here's your job. You want to keep your job, you do it. It's people like me who work in the wrestling business, the cream team. It's just filth, lies, and cheaters. That's the way that company has been built on. How would you like to lie on the bed and have me perform oral sex on you? And I said, geez, that would be great.
This is not family entertainment.
And we're back with the Cream Team podcast, and Zach Hipstar is back from his New Brunswick World Tour or Canada Tour.
It won't stop. It won't stop. The phones are going mad. It's funny. It's funny how ever since leaving Mark Clark, thinking that was the most work I ever got, now this is the busiest summer I've ever had. It's insane.
I think that was one of the most offensive things when I stopped working for him, was that he was putting this idea out there that everything I have in wrestling is because of what I've worked with him.
Right.
And yet he goes around WrestleMania name dropping me so that he can book my friends,
of course,
to come to the CNE.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, I know James Runyon, Mr. Marvelous. Yeah, I should come work at the CNE.
Buddy. I'm going crazy though. I really don't know how to handle it. This is something interesting that I know indie wrestlers, trainers can't teach. You can't teach them money, and also indie wrestlers can't afford agents. But it would really be useful as to how to charge what you're worth. And I'm worried. I'm really bad at that. Coming back from all these trips and thinking, putting in retrospect how much work I actually did and how much money I could have charged, that's a tough call, man, when you're an independent business.
Well, and this is the thing, because I've gotten into stunt acting in movies and things. And like, the reality is the absolute minimum that anyone can get doing the stuff that I do is $200 to $300. And yet in wrestling, like, it's really hard to get people to pay you more than $100.
Exactly. And it's more work than the stunting and acting. No offense to what you do.
And like, this is it. Like, cause I know it's a big controversial topic with people, but like, realistically, you're getting paid below minimum wage to do this. It's
true. And I'm busy as hell, and I'm working on, I had a couple shows already. At the end of this month will be my final taped version, so I can put together the Hipstar comedy special. It's happening, folks. Live, free on YouTube. It's going to be absurd and the stupidest thing I've ever made, and I can't wait.
Well, I can't wait for that. I was super busy this week. So this is the first time I've ever done this. I worked a TV show. I worked 2 TV shows this week. I worked a TV show every day this week, Monday to Friday. This is the first time I've worked Monday to Friday in a while. But good. It's and I mean, put it this way, I made probably a year's salary of an independent wrestler in this week.
That's hilarious. Isn't it funny how that works? Really?
But speaking of making money, there's a podcast. Our podcast has taken off. We're getting a lot of hits, and we actually made a couple $100. So that's cool.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that. And thanks to the people who still keep buying my shirts. I don't know why, or nobody's wearing them in public. But thank you.
Well, I mean, if you want to buy a shirt and do a cameo, and we'll air it on the podcast, that we're open for that. Actually, now that we're on the topic, thumbs up and comment, because when you thumbs up and comment, you're helping us, and you're helping us get the word out on all the crazy controversial topics that we have to get to the bottom to.
Smash the like button. Please give a thumbs up. Smash the like button. Hey, thank you for watching.
ChatGPT told me to do it, so we got to do it.
I know all YouTubers say that, and it's so insulting because even the stupidest people know how YouTube works. If they like your content, they're going to subscribe. Why do you have to repeat it in every video?
Yes, but if you prompt to them, they'll do it. This is the idea, and apparently it works. We're going to find out.
Before we get to the content, let me just say, China, stop calling us, okay? All right, China's
Yeah.
going nuts for us to go work over there. We're busy, okay?
We don't speak Mandarin, and I don't think we want to speak Mandarin.
They don't like
English.
people with tattoos there. They asked me a lot of
That's right,
promos
yeah.
where I'm not showing tattoos. I'm like, I don't have that.
That's
What
why
do you mean?
they seem more open to me because I don't have tattoos. But hey, well, you know,
It's weird because they just brought in Super Crazy. And they made
does he have tattoos?
I think they made Super Crazy wear a shirt. And all Super Crazy has is that barbed wire tattoo. It's weird.
Oh,
I have to double check the video, but like he wasn't usually wearing his usual gear.
But yeah, if you want to sponsor the show, get on the horn, get on the DMs, whatever. Well, we'd love to plug your stuff. That's cool.
That's right, Joe Hagen.
More than we're gonna get to that.
Sorry, go.
But hang on. First off, because we are doing the independent wrestling thing. We've made a couple $100. So what's the best thing to do with that?
Put it back in the market. Start our own promotion, of course.
Yes. So we are starting. I got to hear. Where is it?
It's big news, folks.
Unforeseen circumstances wrestling.
That's right. So we advertise all our shows and always cancel them.
Well, yeah. So like, don't expect anything to happen. I mean, you can get your hopes up. That's cool.
Yeah.
But we're gonna announce a bunch of people, and they will not show up. But we will tell you ahead of time they are not coming. But we won't say why. Unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah. And feel free to buy tickets in advance.
You may or may not be refunded because when it happened, we could refund you. That's the right thing to do. Or we could say it'll go towards the next show.
We never have it.
Ponzi scheme.
We never have. That's really funny.
We'll honor this for the next show, and then that one gets unforeseen circumstances.
That's good, man.
It's the Bill Goldberg of wrestling promotions. It never does a job. And
that's good.
Yeah, so I think first up, we got an endorsement. Hey, we got an endorsement. I think what we're trying to do here is trying to catch on. And you know Jordynne Grace, right?
Yes.
Jordynne Grace comes in.
Yes.
Public shaming needs to make a comeback. Social accountability needs to be relied on to discourage bad behavior. And that's what we do on the Cream Team podcast, don't we? We're all about public shaming and saying the quiet part out loud and getting people that do shitty things behind closed doors on the horn and in public. And then our friend, Ontario alumni, Caitlin Diamond, she chimed in. She goes, homegirl knows what's up. Yeah, she's I guess she's friends with Jordan. She would know Jordan really well, probably.
Don't all the women wrestlers know all the women wrestlers ever? They're all friends with each other? Isn't that how it works?
I think so, to an extent. Yeah, they usually like to band together because they're. I
love Caitlin though, and she's been around enough that I absolutely respect where she's coming from, and she's right because wrestling used to be modern day gladiators. And now it's the same people that used to buy front row tickets, VIP tickets too, who are also the main event, the Matthew Grants of the world.
I think the thing with Caitlin that's interesting is that she actually got out of Canada and she lives in the States now. That's cool. Yeah.
Which is really what you have to do. And I didn't do that, but I knew as soon as I got off the plane, like going in another province, that's the answer. I can't wrestle forever, but as far as your territory and environment goes, you got to explore. We only got one life in this world, and staying in the same circuit, dealing with the same politics. Like just think, Matthew Grant will probably be on his deathbed saying to himself, "I am the king of Hamilton, Ontario."
And
he never left.
But I mean, like. If you're gonna, legitimately do things in wrestling, you have to make connections. And if you stay isolated in your area that's close to you, you're so much limited in the connections that you can have and make. But Speaking of Matthew Grant, we have
say, well said though. Well said. I say things that my words are all messed up that it seems like an insult, and you just put it in respectable terms. That's why we work off each other so well.
I'm the professional one, and you're the
heat seeker.
Yeah, there you go, the heat seeker. Even though I got the heat too. Don't worry, I got my heat. Pizza Warrior put up a Facebook post. You know, Cream Team Podcast alumni. He says Matthew Grant took $20 from me and said he would make a montage video and never did.
Oh, who said he would?
Matthew Grant said he would take Pizza Warrior's $20 and make a montage video for him, and he never followed up.
No way. Oh, that's interesting.
The big time wrestler personality in Ontario that wins all the belts is scrounging people out of $20. Pizza Warrior, that's something. What did he do to people? I didn't deserve that.
Well, Matthew Grant got in this business because of his production, doing podcasts and making work for other people. And now he just doesn't have the time for it because he has all these belts. He's a champion.
He's got to make all these towns. And actually, that's a good segue into, we got his 2026 schedule here. And the only reason why I got this queued up is because he's got the C&E on there, which I never thought I'd see this day.
I know.
But here we are. And I think you can rest assured he won't be wearing this tracksuit on the C&E. He'll be wearing the dress shirt that I guess Mike Clark made him wear because he needs a gimmick. Mm-hmm. And this is his idea of giving this guy a gimmick so he can have him work for $20 a day.
You'll wear a shirt to love it. You'll wear a fancy shirt.
He can take one of his C&E paydays and, give Pizza Warrior back his money. That's what I think.
And I got to say this, even though I said this to you off air like maybe twice, 3 times. It's funny thinking that rewind 6, 7, 8 years ago, Mark Clark's empty promises that he'd say to the two of us that kept us hanging on. Stick with me. You got $1 million look. You got it going on. Just stick with me. I'm going to make you a star. And it's funny because now that, we were his 2 golden boys when he first started, who really, let's face it, got his feet off the ground. Helped him get in the business. We did all the dirty work for him. And now he is the same. Well, same story, same script that he's just telling other people. And I sometimes I stop myself and I think, who are those other people that he's saying the same words that he said to you and I? It's the Matthew Grants of the world, and I find that hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah, and this is I always try to get this across because it's the truth. I'm not bitter about anything that's happened to me in the wrestling business. We do this podcast to bring to light dumb, shitty things that go on in hopes of getting it better. And of course, Mark Clark is someone that we have a lot of experience with, but he's doing a lot of the dumb, shitty things also. And both of us were a big part of getting the C&E off the ground. And I'm really proud of the C&E. And it's funny because it's almost like the current generation isn't smart enough to realize what wrestling at the C&E is. You're getting lots of experience. You're in front of a lot of people, and it's bringing independent wrestling to a mainstream audience because it's the general public.
Right.
And I don't, because I think it was 2 years ago was the last time I did the C&E, and I don't think Mark really capitalized on it. I don't know. What say you? Right. Yeah.
I'd say any opportunity he ever got, he just immediately took advantage of.
He just kind of bilks the money out of it and then, walks away or whatever,
Yeah.
And, I think people like me and you have brains and could see what was going on. So I think we just kind of drifted away from what was going on. But,
real quick, and I feel for some of the kids who will be bamboozled by people, the Mark Clarks of the world, because I developed late in life. I had a childhood where I was in a cult of a religion, very lacking confidence, and I started my adulthood, my free years way too late in life. I was acting like a 13-year-old when I was 18. kind of stuff, right? So a lot of wrestlers, Matt Grant, he's probably in his mid-30s, but yet they're going after these empty promises as you would with a naive heart in your early 20s. Like it's so easy to get taken advantage of by the carny promoters, and Mark Clark is no different.
Yeah, and I think that was me because I think I kind of trailed off when I got into my 30s. But here's the thing. You're pointing this out, but then the question is, do the people that are being taken advantage of actually care that they're being taken advantage of? Because some of them, they might just be more than happy to pretend that they're on WrestleMania and win the fake title and get that validation, right?
Nine times out of 10, that's exactly what it is. But the adults that treat this like a career. I'm not going to do his name. But
it's not a career; it's a hobby.
Exactly. And that's so funny because when I was out there, a guy who's still there, and I don't think he is in this area or has ever done work. I mentioned the C&E to him, and he's like, Mark Clark keeps contacting me about him. Oh. And it's funny because he just had a couple of phone conversations with him, never met the guy in person. And I had to laugh because the maturity of the guy telling the story immediately, and I'm just meeting him. So he's trying to be professional with me. So he's trying to, say good words.
Right. Because of course, anything you can say can and will be repeated.
Yeah. Mark keeps calling me about the C&E shows, but I don't know. This seems like a really good opportunity, but it seems like he's treating wrestling like it's a hobby for us. Because every time I bring up money, he keeps changing the situation. He keeps changing the conversation. That's him. It's so funny. I fucking laugh, and I knew you'd like that too.
Well, that's the grift, right? But it's true. There's a lot of guys that just take the booking and don't bring up the money at all, and they'll just say nothing, and if they get paid, cool. If they don't get paid, cool. And I think that's what Mark Clark realized, because he was like, well, realistically, I don't have to pay anybody because all these guys are marks and they'll do it for free or they'll do it for $40. And then he takes home an extra probably couple grand on the C&E. So hey.
And come on, anybody finally getting out of Hamilton and being in Toronto, they're going to think that's a level of success.
Yeah.
And you and I have done a majority of our work, based out of Toronto, and I feel more reward, more satisfaction when we did, those carnival shows 4 hours away from the city. Yeah. So those kids are just happy to be out of the same armpit they've been in for years.
There was some other shows running Canada Day, one in particular that was really unfortunate. So of course we're going to talk about it because that's what we do. But Canada Day, I think it was 365 that this was. I don't know, but you can see there was a massive rain and windstorm, and I like here that they're still committed to finishing this match. That what's going on? There's a tornado going on and all this stuff, and they're gonna get the roll up, and they're gonna make sure they don't break kayfabe, and
that rules.
There's some look. There's a camera guy there. The camera guy's there holding the camera.
That's good.
It looks like there's some people there watching. Not many.
Bless them.
The majority of the people that were there watching have common sense, and they were like, okay, let's get the hell out of here.
The venue is being torn apart by a natural disaster. And the boys are like, all right, take it home. No, I got to get my shit in.
And they go to the back, and it's like, when I tell you to take it home, you take it home.
Everything's breaking in the background. You made me look like a fool out there. That's good.
But there's another match. I think this was also Canada Day. There was no rainstorm in this one, but this one is just so completely off the rails that we have to talk about it. That's what
okay.
This was Barrie Wrestling. We know Barrie Wrestling very well.
Oh no, yeah, I saw you. Yeah. So,
the majority of the people that were there watching have common sense, and they were like, okay, let's get the hell out of here.
Everything's breaking in the background. Everything's breaking in the background.
let's see. So I guess the story that, because they don't have any other alternatives, I guess they had to have Nova submit to a pee test because she's on gas, I guess, allegedly. And so I think that's Stratus. He has the urine sample. I don't know why he would have it unless he was going to test it.
Yeah.
But and the referee's there wondering, what do you want me to do with a pee test in the middle of a wrestling ring? And now they're going to smell it. Okay, so the audience is just eating this up too.
Are they? Because I don't see one person in any of those 10 people moving.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
So they put over that this urine sample is quite disgusting, and then he drinks it because, you know, why wouldn't you do that? Like,
This is where your ego gets so ahead of you. And I'm not saying Nova. I'm saying this is probably the boys that came up with this
100%.
idea.
Yeah, Nova definitely didn't come up with this idea.
And she was always the type, no offense, to just go along with anything you pitch. And she's wrestled long enough now. She'll probably get her shit in, but that's just when it comes to moves. When it comes to ideas or spots, she's just always on board. And that's why she's easy to work with. But the boys certainly pitch this, and that's where their ego gets so ahead of them. They can't separate their ego, their inside jokes, apart from the entertaining the crowd. This is a joke for them. They're making themselves laugh. Nobody in the background's understanding what the hell you're doing. Mm-hmm. And if there's kids there, you're drinking a woman's pee. What are you doing, dude? Like, it's embarrassing.
It's like, I feel like you're beyond dumb just to come up with this idea, but then to actually be like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And like you said, like I mean, the sound's limited because they put music over it, which to me says that they did that because the crowd wasn't reacting to it. But
probably
then, like, you could look at them like they're kind of just sitting there like, what the fuck is this? Like, look, one guy's got his arms crossed, and like, do
you know who comes up with ideas like this? People who aren't used to wrestling in front and working for the crowd. Right. People who aren't used to doing outdoor shows.
Or and like understanding that what you do is supposed to elicit the reactions. But this is the thing, like when you talk to these guys about storytelling, their mind goes to all these completely weird, stupid things.
Yeah.
Because like realistically, like, all I have to do to tell a story with you is hurt your arm and have you sell the arm. And then what we do based off that is
the story. Easy as that. Yeah.
But they never grasp that concept. So then they resort to urine tests in the middle of the match. And
this is a product
smelling
of
the pee and drinking the pee.
It's absurd. This is a product of your entire wrestling career, never leaving or getting bookings outside the Don Colive Arena or Super Kicked, and you've been doing that for 3 years, and now you want to call yourself a vet. Now you have a change of scenery, and you do an outdoor show, and you have no idea how to start. You just think that everybody's going to know who I am. I can do the same shit that I did when I was at Battle Arts for the last 5 years. It's that is just awful. And I mean, I'm sorry, Nova especially should know better because she kills at outdoor shows. She killed at every mark booking. That's where you gotta put your foot down and say, no, that's dumb. There's kids in the crowd. This is a completely different environment. We got to work the crowd, not ourselves.
There's also, I don't know the context because it's just a random clip, but it looks like Fuerza and Stratus are wearing soccer jerseys, and maybe they have heat with Alessandro Del Bruno. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
I did. Stratus did look like Del Bruno too.
And but of course, a soccer ball.
And of course, an idea like this would have Fuerza attached to it. Of course, Fuerza would be in the ring when something like this would happen.
And training the next generation of wrestlers to do pee tests during matches. You know,
I hate stealing
this
slang.
Is where we are.
I hate stealing slang from generations that aren't ours, but it's true. We are cooked. We're cooked, bro.
We're cooked, bro. We got to. We had an interesting comment on our last podcast. I screenshotted it, and I'm going to bring it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this, by the way?
This is Joe Hagan.
Of course it is.
He keeps it vague. He's True North 1968. So actually, I don't know for sure if this is Joe Hagan. It could be a catfish. Could be, it could. We don't know. Could be a girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he writes here. For the record, I didn't turn down your request to be on the show because of the content. I turned it down because I didn't want to criticize a specific person in a public forum, because I spent months being terrorized by that person. And since it stopped, my life has been fairly stress-free, and I prefer to keep it that way. And actually, I didn't expand it, but
that's okay.
It doesn't matter. I think we got the point.
To.
So I think this is Joe Hagan. And like, I think what was funny is that we roast all these people that make vague posts, and then we have a comment that is a vague post. But I have the context on this, which is if this is in fact Joe Hagan.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Mike Clark was like absurdly obsessed with like clowning Joe Hagan.
Yes.
Yeah. And
while still asking him to comment to do announcing for his shows.
While still asking to be his friend.
Yes.
And he was crank calling him at one point, which he never, I'll put out there, he never admitted to me that he was doing this, but then he would call me to tell me that Joe Hagan was being crank called. And he's
like, all right.
And then it's like, okay, well, like, how would you know this
if you weren't doing
it wasn't yourself. You? But then, and then I would say that to him, but then he would be like, well, like, you don't have any evidence that it's me. Yeah. So like, he wouldn't admit that it was him, but then he would have an argument with me about why it's not him.
Yeah, exactly. But you know all about it and all the details.
Right. You know all about it, and you got to get on the horn and tell me about it, because he used to call me and tell me everything. But
100% this is Joe Hagan. Absolutely.
Right. Well, the profile picture is him with Cody Rhodes. So, I mean,
so of course
where that came from.
And I remember last episode, and at least it took a good maybe 20, 30 minutes into our episode, we mentioned him. So, and I have to farm for content, because anybody that brings me up on their shows, I bring it on mine, right? And I don't have the time to go through 30-minute episodes, even an hour. Mm-hmm. People stream for 4 hours. So luckily, there's an AI feature now where you just search a keyword. If anybody says hipstar, then I search it, timestamp it. That's my content. Joe Hagan's not doing that, which means he listened 30 minutes of our episode and he heard his name. He's like, no, that's not true. I didn't do that, right?
And I didn't even have to prompt him to thumbs up and comment. That's the best, because I don't think I did it last week. I got to start to. So now that we're talking about it, if you want to be featured on the show, you get those comments in there and tell us what's what, so we can talk about you. And please be vague, but not vague enough where I don't know the context, so I can talk about it. Because if it's vague and I don't know, I'm just going to be like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about.
Thank you, Joe. You're always welcome on the pod.
Yes. And your invitation still stands, and we appreciate you. There's another show here coming up. You wanted to talk about this. CWF. August 15th. Is this? It doesn't say resolution, but is this supposed to be resolution?
Wrestling is an illusion. Yes, but it probably is. It's called Summer Impact, but
Summer Impact, yeah. But is like he usually runs that show in August, right?
Well, he started doing just all that you really heard of CWF was, which by the way, did you know it used to be called TWA? Did you know that?
Wait, Thorn Wrestling it?
Yes.
Thorn
100%.
Wrestling. What was it?
Thorn Wrestling Academy.
Yeah.
That's when Whitey and I
after himself.
Yeah, of course. That's when Whitey and I were head trainers, and but then CWF came, and he would just all of the shows you'd hear of were out of province. He was doing the tours, and he'd just save to do this one big show. But now, as he's been doing it for so long, he thinks that he can do a couple big shows. And this is what Summer Impact is, probably his Summer Slam, just as he told everybody else that Resolution was Ontario's or Canada's WrestleMania. Jesus Christ, that guy.
The story I got, which I think Rex Atkins told Mike, Mark,
Thank you.
is that because where does he get the money for this? Like
the venues, especially, they're not
like,
cheap, man.
Tessa Blanchard's probably very high rate right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. I just see her on the poster. I mean, the rest of those guys probably getting $100.
Yeah, the other girl that clearly wrestling Tessa is probably the only other girl in the business. She is only or only girl on the show. Only been in the business for about a year tops.
But like I think Rex told Mark that like he makes a little bit of money in those Indian tours, and then he just kind of blows it all marking out for himself on some big show.
Dude, and when he came up with the idea, I kid you not, he couldn't stop repeating, it's going to be Canada's WrestleMania. And you see the footage that the ticket sales are not matching how much he spends on the talent and the venue.
Right.
The venue is probably the biggest.
Well, but this is why we do the podcast, because we have intelligence and knowledge on these things, and so we can break this down, because I'm sure there's fans out there that talk about how great the show is and whatever, and that's cool. It's your opinion, but like realistically, if you're not profiting on these shows or at least breaking even, then like you're just being a mark for yourself.
That's exact. And so many people do this. Like, who is this for other than Thorne? Like, this is for Thorne's ego. I can't even imagine after the expense he makes on the venue alone. At least he's saving with the ring and the production setup, because that's all what he owns.
Which he bought. Owns. He bought it, so he invested in it.
Sure, right? But after the Scotiabank Arena in the Falls or the Welland Arena, that's not cheap. Like you got bands from the 80s who are big names selling out the Scotiabank Arena, and you got Frank Thorne renting out that venue, and he can't even get like a half of the chairs filled. It's insane.
Well, actually, we have a unique perspective here because we both live in the Niagara region. Is anybody aware of this wrestling going on? Because I don't really hear much about it. Sometimes he purchases a street sign, which it'll just be like a random poster that doesn't really explicitly say it's pro wrestling. It just has his son and like a couple other people on the poster, and just being like, come to this at this time for this.
Nowhere on this Summer Impact poster does it say the words wrestling. So even if you posted it,
that's what I'm getting at.
You look at it and just have to assume. And that's probably another Thorne ego thing, because he just thinks, well, people know what CWF is. I don't need to say more. People know me.
And they know so much that they don't come to the show.
And you're just depending on regular fans that would always buy a ticket. So it's probably a good $200 if you're lucky. And then what else? Well, how are you promoting the show? Facebook. That's it. And physical postering. Remember when we had to pay our dues? And I do in the Falls for Neo, especially walking down Lundy's Lane, stopping at every convenience store, every gas station, and asking to put up a poster. 2 hours of paying our dues and doing physical postering. Nobody does that anymore, guaranteed. Everybody just relies on my promotion's name and a Facebook post.
And it's unfortunate that we had to do this too, because now I probably lost out on renting rings from him.
Oh no, that's okay. Ripping back's cheaper.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here today. We got a video here that it goes behind the scenes in the business, and you sent this to me. It's they're just blatantly gigging for the camera, but then the guy licks it. So that was pleasant. This is the art of wrestling these days, you know.
It really is a shame, and this is one of those like made me cringe. Because
I did too. It's not.
That was just seeing the scrapes. Okay, that's one thing, but then the lick, so unnecessary, and that's the CZW deathmatch mentality of, I got my 10 minutes of fame, bro. Who cares about my long-term health? Who cares? Do you remember when Honky Tonk, I think his greatest idea was when he started the website don'tbleedonme.com. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It was the uprise of Hep C being spread in wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And this was after, I think, X-Pac just got it. But
Right.
it was Honky Tonk's a try of making more awareness of the Abdullahs of the world, the Brodies, who would just gig and bleed every match. And then Honky Tonk was trying to bring awareness of like, guys, this is like, it's ruining people's careers. I'm sorry, but like, I mean, we know Nigel's story, but if it wasn't that story, it could have been from the blood. I mean, people are reckless with stuff like this. It's not considering the other person and let's face it, you're leaving blood in the ring, and I could roll in that and maybe get it in an open sore,
For sure.
and I'm taking out your diseases.
And for what?
Thing,
like
for $70.
It used to be that gigging and blood were used to get people interested and draw them in to buy tickets for future shows.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I love wrestling, so I want to do this. And
shock value.
I want
every match.
I want pictures of it so I can put it on Facebook and say, look, I'm a wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadly, that's kind of what my dad was. He just really, really loved gigging and changing his Facebook profile picture to a new bloody face, which he loved.
Yeah, your dad was one of a kind.
He really was. I love the man. But now it's way out of hand. I mean, the coolest thing I remember, I was super young, and it wasn't my dad, but it was one of my dad's shows. And somebody bled, maybe it was my dad, but it was mid card. And Tyson Dukes, I've never seen him have a hot head, except for then, where he says, I'm not going out there until you mop up all the blood. I'm not going out there. His music was playing, and I believe it was me and him versus Jen Blake and somebody, maybe Danger Boy. And I'm caught in the middle because I'm like, oh, my dad's going to get mad at me, but Mr. Dukes is making a good point, and I'll never forget that. He's so right. We shouldn't, have to follow that with, again, we can't trust these guys don't have diseases in their blood. You got to protect yourself long term, not for 10 minutes.
Ask Hannibal.
Oh, God. I'm not too familiar with that guy, but
anyways, we got another clip here. Here's I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like this guy's trunks are riding up his ass. Maybe
which one's this?
Maybe I don't know. It's Mickey Knuckles and Gigi Jacobs, looks like.
Oh yeah. This Mickey Knuckles is getting a lot of traction in the deathmatch
right
scene. And
which one is he? Is he the one with the ass crack, or is he
the girl? Yeah.
Oh, he's a girl.
So he's a girl. Yeah.
She's a girl.
First off, she's biting his dick, and the guy's selling it with just getting on the top rope because that's our next spot. And it's Caitlin Diamond's repost of we need to public shame people because even as the girl's doing it, you can see at least 10 pounds of cellulite hanging there. No respect for her body. It's just the fact that she does deathmatch stuff. So, why get in shape? And, I just, it's so perverted and so gross now. I don't know. That's all I got. We're cooked. We're cooked. Like, wrestling is such a joke more than it ever was. And this is, for somebody who's supposed to be the most extreme genre of wrestling, has turned into the biggest joke of wrestling.
And make a note that there's probably like 50 fans there.
Oh yeah, who usually go to all their shows anyways.
Yeah. And then we got this guy. He's a basketball player.
I love how you set up content. We got this guy.
He breaks the ankles of this poor guy and then gives him a cutter.
Man.
He's repping the Raptors. That's cool.
Yeah, get it? Because he's a basketball player.
And
in
I
wrestling.
mean, I could see Jay Nadler liking this.
Yeah, of course.
He'd be all up on this. Maybe because we plugged him now, maybe he'll get booked on Demand Lucha.
Yeah,
But,
he's gonna be hitting up Mark Clark's phone saying you gotta tag him with the pizza guy. He's gonna be in a tag team.
And then Mark will give him the lecture about how it's a hobby.
Yeah, God, it's so hokey now, man, and it really just comes down to just a one-dimensional gimmick. And let's face it, Shakara did stuff like this. There was a football player who just really his gimmick was he wore football gear. And now I'm a basketball player and I deke around you and I do basketball moves.
So we got the main event now. We got the main event now.
What do we got?
This is Mark Clark giving us a lecture. This one happened because like we were talking and we covered this on the podcast, but it's how me and you used to be the golden boys of CCW and would do everything to support the company and get it over and help the company make money.
Yeah.
And how we were just replaced by I think we were gonna make a photo, but we never did. It was we had a picture of you and me, Mark. I think Fuego was in it. And,
I'll make it in time for when you drop this
and
episode.
Sunny Z from China.
That's right.
And we were gonna superimpose the heads of Matt Grant and Ryan Donovan for us.
I'll have it done by the time you put this episode
up.
So
we'll edit this on top.
So here's the picture here. Look, right there. This way. Okay.
And here he is.
Here's a more Titan Sports fat referee never trade.
Look at Fuego in the background.
That's how you do it, right there. Chop it like that.
That's it. Just like that. All you marks, learn from the fact.
Oh, look at Sonny Z. He's so entertained.
In all of wrestling. Fuck the Santiago. Fuck the Mallards. Fuck the Tyson.
Can I just say, you were iffy if you wanted to show this. I'm so happy you decided to go with it. This is. Come on, that was a fun night, and this is a funny video.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes.
Yeah,
this is on my personal phone. Mike may have had a couple pops that night.
Yeah,
and
Mike Clark and Rob Fuego, 35.
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny.
Referee never trade. Let me show
and this was when Mike was in his phase of talking like the Iron Sheik 24/7. Like he was always talking like the Iron Sheik.
One more.
And I like how he jams the knife into Santino Marella at the end.
Fuck you, Santino. Fuck you. Yeah, it was also in the phase where he was heavy on hating Santino. So
yeah,
maximum chop.
Oh, it's so funny.
He throws a dig at Tyson Dukes too, which I don't think he actually dislikes Tyson Dukes, but
he has no reason to. But
yeah, he has no reason to.
Same night, I gifted my pair of St. Louis Rams Zubas to Fuego, and I really wish I still had those.
Oh, damn it!
I know. Those were good colors.
He probably still wears them too.
He probably does. He was very grateful, so at least I'll have that.
So that's gonna wrap it up. And Hipstar, we're glad to have you back in Ontario soil, back into the studio.
Oh, I'm moving. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. I'm going back.
It sounds like you killed it. And
no, I'm moving. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. Fuck this province.
You get out of here. Whatever.
Thanks, man.
And we're glad to. I think this what we talked about was probably going to make a lot of waves, but I mean that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
And comment, like, hit the thumbs up. I'm Mr. Marvelous. I'm
the Hipstar. Tonight on Hipstar Tonight will return back in August. I'm taking a month vacation as I always do. And that's on hipstar.ca. I hate your guts, Kingsley. You're going down.
Yeah, that's next week.
Okay.
All right.
Or either you do it or you don't. Here's your job. You want to keep your job, you do it. It's people like me who work in the wrestling business, the cream team. It's just filth, lies, and cheaters. That's the way that company has been built on. How would you like to lie on the bed and have me perform oral sex on you? And I said, geez, that would be great.
This is not family entertainment.